What's up, everybody? This is another video by the RWD Gaming channel. I'm Baron. Tonight we're going to be playing another game in our critter setting that me and Philip have been putting together. This one is titled Red Dawn. I'm going to push us to introductions, starting with Jonathan, if you want to kick us off.
Hey guys, I'm Jonathan. I'll be playing Holt tonight. He is a Badger Barbarian. Holt is like, so basically the impetus of Holt was like, I wanted to create a barbarian that was an actual barbarian, not the big dumb lug that just kills things. You know, they're barbarians, they're smart, they're basically thieves, and they have their own moral code. So I'm really excited to get playing tonight, guys.
Right on. Philip?
Hey guys, I'm Philip. I'm going to be the Dungeon Master tonight, and I'm happy to be here with all of these amazing players.
Righto. Charles?
My name is Charles. I'll be playing Nethus. I'm a chipmunk druid, and kind of in the spirit of being a chipmunk, you know, I'm a little rambunctious, and I'm kind of tired of being around the druids, so I'm getting out in the world.
Absolutely. Jacob?
Hi, I'm Jacob, and I'll be playing Edward the Mouse Paladin, who I based off of Reepicheet from the Chronicles of Narnia.
Heck yeah. And then finally, Alex?
I'm playing Sylvia Siver, who goes by the name Silver Sliver, which is actually the name of her sword. She is a assassin who is currently working to find out who burned down Oak City. Also, she's a rabbit, not a hare.
Nice. And yeah, Baron, just make sure you introduce your character also, please.
Righto. I am playing the hare tonight. I'm playing Gilderoy Lightfoot. He is a monk hare native from the Heartlands, but he's been spending a lot of time in the wildlands to the north in a monastery, learning the ways of healing and just good counsel and wisdom.
Thank you, and welcome everyone. This is going to be an approximately 4-session story arc, and we're going to test out this setting that Baron and I have been working on. Most of the players were able to decide whether they'd like to create their own critter race or reskin an existing D&D 5e race to play with. And so we're going to be seeing how they interact with each other and make sure everything works. So it's been 5 days since Oak City burned. 2 of our heroes here, Holt and Gilderoy, witnessed the fire being set and were in Oak City when it started to burn. They were able to escape, but they escaped with their friends who have since split ways. Some searching for their families, some just deciding that since the city burned, they might as well try to find a new life somewhere else. Their friends were put in the same situation as the thousands of creatures that are now displaced from the burning of Oak City. The fire started and quickly spread from the city to the walls to the surrounding forest. Soon, a large portion of the central part of the heartland, was burning. Fire was burning all the way to the major river running through the area. It started burning north, our heroes have all managed to end up in a refugee camp just north of Willow Creek. Gilderoy and Holt, you've arrived here after several days traveling north from Oak City. You guys are on the trail of the Red Fang, the notorious group of foxes that started this conflagration. Sylvia, you are also on the trail of the Red Fang. You have a strong inclination that they were the ones who started this, and you've been following tracks that have led you to this refugee camp as well. Finally, Edward and Nithaus, you guys are traveling south from the north and have not yet encountered the conflagration. You've only seen hordes of creatures: mouse, squirrels, moles, voles, shrews, all manner of creatures displaced from their homes, searching for a new place that they can call home. You've found this refugee camp after traveling several days from the north. We'll start with Holt and Gilderoy. As you approach the camp, you notice it's just makeshift tents from large leaves and grass. There is somewhat of a stick fence perimeter put up around the main area, and you notice that guarding it there is a mouse and a squirrel wielding heavy clubs. There are refugees around them, some huddled around fires. You smell some bread being baked, but everyone is just drinking water, and there's no merriment around these fires.
Approximately what time of day is it?
It's about 10 in the morning, and it's kind of overcast.
I kind of picture Gilderoy walking in Holt's shadow, just because Holt is towering over me in size. And thinking to myself how it's kind of convenient that he's this much bigger than me, because it's blocking out the sun and putting me in a relative. Well, there is no sun; it's overcast. So never mind all this.
Yeah, when I say overcast,
maybe he's blocking.
What I mean to say is that there is smoke that has filled the entire sky, and it is still hot as balls because it's not a nice, cool, overcast day. It's a suffocating, smoky day. Visibility is rather poor, and it's been like this for days, and you don't know when it's going to clear up.
Then, yeah, scrap everything I just said. I'm disheveled. I'm covered in soot. I'm basically suffocating just to breathe. I can kind of hear maybe a wheeze or a pant coming out of Holt, who's trying his hardest to not show the effects. But I'm weak right now. I was only trained in so much resistance, so I'm moving slow. I'm trying to stay as cool as possible, I guess. Probably hungry.
So basically, these, like us, along with all these refugees, are basically fleeing in the wake of this giant fire that has been set. Basically, correct?
Yes, you guys were able to cross Willow Creek and basically that should serve as a fire break, and you don't expect the fire to be able to advance past Willow Creek.
Okay, well, upon seeing everyone so glum at this point, Holt just says to himself, well, this won't do. And he hawks up a big loogie of he's equally disheveled in covered in soot and everything, but he seems less perturbed by it than Gilderoy is. He hawks up a big loogie of soot that has collected in his lungs the past few days and pulls out a set of bagpipes that he's had on his back this entire time and starts playing a jaunty tune from the north.
That's awesome. That's perfect. As you're playing this tune, some of the critters start to pick their heads up, hares and squirrels and mice. And you see some mice and hare children coming to dance around you. And the mouse and squirrel kind of guards come up to you. Hey, what are you doing? Who told you could make this ruckus?
The practice of you fine gentlemen to keep these people in such low spirits, and I want them to notice the fox head that I have mounted on my belt buckle, the head of the red fang that I killed. At this moment,
they will notice that, and they'll say, "Come on, you'll scare the children. Get on with you."
I keep playing.
Great. So, Charles and Edward, sorry, I should say Nethaus and Edward, you guys have been in the camp for a little while. You know the drill. When you came in, you had to kind of present yourself to the head of the tribe. They welcomed you, told you what portions you could have from their meager food supplies, and have basically told you they'll deal with you later. So you guys are out by a fire, kind of just eating some bread, no cheese. And you notice that Nethaus is just kind of contemplatively staring into the fire, almost, and you've seen him do this in your travels, almost as if he were meditating. But Edward, you hear bagpipes playing and see a massive badger and hare that have just come into the refugee camp.
Well, that's interesting. I'm going to go investigate what this badger and hare are doing playing bagpipes.
Great. So, yeah, you approach him. What do you say?
Maybe as he approaches, he hears Gilderoy. Just let him play. He's lifting the spirits, man.
I wasn't coming to stop. Just wasn't something I was expecting to hear, considering everything that's going on.
Not to you. I was speaking that to the guard as you approached.
Oh.
You'll draw attention to us. You can't do that. You need to be quiet.
Draw attention to us? How many people are in this camp? 6,000?
More like 500.
Still, traipsing through the woods. People from 100 miles away know that we're here. What's a little music?
People have been through enough. They need something, anything to raise their spirits, and I have to say he's pretty damn good at what he's doing.
Fine. But put that head away.
Oh,
Sorry, guys.
You're good. Oh, you dare have me put away the trophy that I took from those bastards that set this flame?
So you know who did this?
Aye, we skinned the bastards. Well, more like I skinned them.
Gilderoy will kind of like shudder at this. I have been experiencing some of the cultural norms of the North for the first time, like the far, far North for the first time, and they're a little bit more I don't know, I guess enthusiastic about pride and trophies and strength. And I think Gilderoy is definitely gonna take some lessons from Holt in that regard.
If that be true, then we are well met. I'm Edward, a knight from Oak City.
Holt, of the kings in the mountain of the north.
Mighty large, aren't you?
We're all large up north. Keeps us warm.
Well, I can imagine. As you can see, I'm not exactly blessed in a stature sense, but I'm good with a blade, and I reckon I could help you.
How long did you live in Oak City?
I grew up there all my life. I was an orphan, trained myself with the blade to become a knight of the green. Spent some time up north. I needed time for personal contemplation. And my fellow compatriot over there by the fire, he and I made our way south once we heard of the conflagration.
Gilderoy will kind of just give a nod. I am a monk of the order, or the Gilded Order, and they're kind of like a passive healing and just general good counsel. They're kind of given free passage through most places in the region just because they're known to help those in need and just be hospitable and help out.
Sylvia, you are just coming to the refugee camp also, and you've been tracking the creatures that you think have set the fire up here. You notice that there was a scuffle and around the wall, some kind of altercation between the fire setters themselves. They had a battle amongst each other. Blood was everywhere, and you found the skin of some. You then tracked that to an encampment. You four of them, but then split off. You decided the other, and you for some time. You get to the refugee camp, and you see where your tracks stop is at a large badger and hare in the middle of the refugee camp, speaking with a mouse.
All right. And there has there's been a fight, and I can tell that somebody got skinned, and that's weird and gross. And so as I approach, I see this badger who is openly showing the skin of something, which is suspicious. So actually, it's not a railroad. She's expert tractor, but she walks up and she kind of just like pokes the badger from behind with her sword is in its sheath, and she's just poking him with the sheath.
Hello. What's this?
Where did you get that skin?
I took it. What of it?
So you're admitting that you murdered and then skinned another living creature. That's an interesting thing to proclaim.
Hold on, hold on, hold on. My cousin. This was a justifiable skinning. I was there. Though gruesome, these were the men that are critters that started the fire, the bastards.
You you want me to believe that you found people starting fire and then skinned them? That's not what normal people do. I'm highly suspicious that you were involved.
Ah, normal people. What you would call down here normal. I see. You civilized folk, and then I get really close to her face. That's not how we handle things in the north, dear lass.
What a dreadful place.
Aye, very stark and cold.
So you came
Death
down here
House.
from the north, found people who burned stuff down, and then took their skin.
Well, you're simplifying things, but more or less.
Or did you come down from the north, horribly uncivilized, and burn down the only civilization?
No,
No.
no.
Sylvia stares at you for a while with her arms crossed, and then she decides that she believes you, and so she just kind of stands and stares at you, but she's got nothing else to say.
Death House. Tell me, as you see friend go over and conversing with this large badger, hare, and rabbit that has come up to it as they seem to be arguing.
Okay, just I want to make sure the one that's with me is the one that went up and talked to him, right?
Edward the Mouse is with you. The most recent arrival to this group was Sylvia,
Okay, so I'm pretty
the
much just gonna
rabbit.
sit back then because I don't really have a horse in this race. I'm just gonna, but I am watching. I am paying attention to people's behavior. I'm just not looking like it.
Okay, so basically, as everyone is arguing, several of the squirrels that are wielding clubs kind of come up to you. Hey, hey, break it up. No fighting in the camp, all right? Can't you see these people have been through enough? You guys need to go report yourselves to Abigail. Turn in your weapons. Turn in any rations. If you're here to help, then help.
I want to walk up to one of the squirrels and pull a Brock Sampson. I want to just like hold my arms out with like the fox skull on my belt and just like point towards my flail on my hip and just like stare at him like, go on, take it.
Okay, at this point, I want to do something. Um, trying to decide the best way to do it though. Um, would I know what a clown is?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, I have minor illusion. I took the wizard feat. The feat lets me have extra feats or extra spells, and I'm gonna make an illusion of a clown pop up in between them and start dancing around.
Holt's just gonna like just
And then I
stare at
walk
it.
up, I stand up, and I start going towards them, and I say, "Come, come, my big friend of the North. There's no need to threaten them. See, they're already threatened by you just seeing you. Come, let's go see what needs to be done around here."
Holt, you can definitely tell that he is also from the north. Just by his like accent, you know that this is a northern dweller and creature as well.
Oh yeah, and I imagine as a northerner, I would also recognize him as a druid of the north, because a Holt, as a northerner, is very suspicious of sorcerers and wizards and magic users of any type. But druids, he's cool with.
I was gonna
Druids
say,
are cool. They're nature based.
it sounds like you're playing one of the old school barbarians.
Oh, absolutely. I'm Conan as shit.
Well, one of the squirrels says, "Well, I'm not going to take that thing from you, but please go in, go meet Abigail. She'll sort you out."
Would,
Yeah,
would I
what
know
is?
who Abigail is?
No, he's just kind of pointing to the center of the refugee camp where there's a tent that's not that it has like wood boards all around it so that it's not laying in mud, whereas everything else is just kind of covered in mud.
I'm gonna go to that tent and I'm gonna start asking to see who Abigail is and where she's at.
Great. So you walk over there and you enter the tent, and you see in this tent there are several bunk beds, and a table right in the center. It's a rather large tent, and on the table, sprawled out, is a map, and you can see where there's charcoal drawn lines of where the fire is, and there's a group of critters huddled over it, and at the center is an old red squirrel, graying with graying hair, but is a red squirrel. You see a hare and a few mice all hunched over, gathered around too. And as you approach the tent, there are messengers that have been coming in and out, and you overhear the people discussing details about where the fire has been and where it's going, and you can see on the map it's clearly a map of where the fire is. Yes, yes. Are you guys the helpers that Oak City sent?
We are indeed. I'm Edward. Is there anything we can do to help?
Edward, yes, thank you. Oh, come in, come in. Edward, just sit there for right now. And who are the rest of you? This is the red squirrel talking.
Gilderoy, this is a female? Gilderoy, ma'am, from the Gilded Order.
Yes, thank you, Gilderoy.
Holt, it's very nice that you're so warm and dry in here when those poor people out there are swimming in mud.
Yes, the conditions of the camp are atrocious. We hope to be out of here as soon as possible, but we can't do anything until we fight this fire and get these people back to their homelands. I hope you guys are here to help with that. Now, who are you, other hare and chipmunk?
I'm not a hare. I'm a rabbit. I'm tracking the people who started the fire. I'm not interested in any of this other stuff.
I am Nethus. I come representing the mountain druids. And to offer a hand.
Yes, thank you, ally from the north. And Rabbit, if you are not interested in fighting the fire, but just fighting the fire starters, do you not care of these people?
The finding and punishing the fire starters is going to do more to help these people than putting out the fire, but for now my only lead is this giant badger, so I suppose I can help.
Yes, he is a rather grotesque one. What is this thing hanging around your waist? Please, will scare the children.
I keep telling you people, this is one of the fire starters. I killed him. I killed him forthright, honorably, and took a trophy. I don't see how it's so hard to understand.
Yes, we all assumed that the Red Fangs were the fire starters, of course. What you have here is clearly a Red Fang fox. We've killed them ourselves, but you don't see us wearing them as ornaments.
It's okay. There's no need to be alarmed. I spent some time in the north. That is how they act and they believe. It's a symbol of honor and status for them. If they kill an opponent in honorable combat, they're obligated to take a trophy.
The mouse gets it.
Well, it's disgusting. Anyway, if you are looking for the Red Fangs, I know where they are located. I know where the den of the Morrow Fox is.
Would you mind telling us?
I will tell you if you do something for me.
What is it you need done?
Look here. She points you guys over to the map, and she points out Willow Creek. She says, "You see this right here? This is Willow Creek. Willow Creek is supposed to serve as a break for the fire. We've just been given word that the fire is quickly approaching Willow Creek, and it's also approaching the settlement right there of Willow Creek where the bridge is. If the fire reaches the settlement, it will cross the bridge and leap across Willow Creek, endangering all of the refugees camp north of the embankment.
So
I need you to go and save as many people from that village as you can, and then take out the bridge that is crossing Willow Creek so that the fire doesn't use the bridge as a bridge to the forest on the other side.
By my honor, consider it done.
I may be a savage from the north, but I understand honor as well. This shall be done.
Just to make sure I'm not making a mistake, she is a female squirrel, right?
Yeah.
I step up to her, put my hand out, and use Druidcraft to put a couple roses out and say, "My lady, we will take care of this."
Go ahead and roll a I don't know, persuasion check, charisma based.
14.
Yes, she is extremely flattered, and she is turning beet red. Yes. Also, make sure to help yourselves to any rations and equipment that you might need. Please, you can view our stores and take whatever you need. Thank you.
Come on, guys. Does anybody need anything, or we should just get going? Maybe we should take some extra water with us just in case.
Yeah, I have everything I need. I have my sword, my shield, and my armor. I'm
Yeah,
good.
but a couple extra water skins can be poured over us to help us resist the fire on our clothes.
Good.
Just
As
Yes.
far
saying.
as I know, it's by a river, right?
That I
Or
didn't
a
know.
creek. Willow Creek. Was Willow Creek a town, or is that like
Yeah.
is that an
Both.
actual creek?
Both.
Okay, so
The
like the
town of
town with
Willow
the
Creek.
bridge
Yeah,
is Willow Creek as well.
exactly. And the bridge is over Willow Creek.
Gotcha.
Ma'am, if I were stark naked, I would still perform this task. I shall not take from your stores.
That is a horrible image, and I do say that in character.
Plus, my pal here, and I point towards the fox head, he's provided plenty of food for me.
It's good to know.
Terrific. So you guys are all in agreement, and you can head out of camp and make your way down to Willow Creek. It's about a day and a half away, so you guys will be able to get there by probably noon of the next day. Your trek downward into the smoke is just terrible. Your throats are always dry. Your eyes are always itchy. The smoke is just suffocating. What are you guys thinking as you are traveling in hot, terrible conditions?
I'm taking off a piece of my sleeve and I'm ripping it off and dousing it in water and wrapping it around my mouth, at least, like around my head as a bandana, but on my mouth. Help ease the smoke.
Yeah, Gilderoy has done something similar to that with his red scarf, kind of to just muffle some of the smoke out. And he's walking next to Holt, and he's kind of just making small talk with the giant. I guess, as a result of this conflagration, I heard in the refugee camp that a lot of people are just vanishing. Whole groups of people just disappearing overnight.
That isn't uncommon in these sorts of situations. When food is low and shelter is scarce, people give up and wander into the wilderness, never to be seen from again.
I heard one of the squirrels talking about a whole tribe of squirrels that were apparently enslaved and marched off by a horde of vermin.
Slavery, it is not a practice I think kindly upon, but some end up in that position, and it's not a kind one to be in.
I overhear this part of the conversation, and overhearing the slavery bit, and I say, if that's the case, we need to go free them at once. as soon as we can.
Slavers are scum. They deserve death.
I agree, my long-eared friend.
Would I know of slavery from being from the north and being in the isolated?
To my
Uh,
knowledge, there's like slavery everywhere, right?
Definitely, yeah. There is probably less slavery in the heartland, but the north is a more barbaric area, and slavery is definitely prevalent.
Okay. I was just wondering because I was going to be a smart aleck and go, what's slavery?
You might not know it as slavery, and you might view it as very accustomed for people to command other people.
That's a good thought. So I will ask what slavery is, but more in a curious term, just to understand what you're talking about.
It's what you would understand as debtor's jail. You owe too much to a single person, and they basically own you.
I stand there for a minute, kind of looking a little confused, and I go, "You mean kind of like honor? Like if you're defeated and you're a slave?"
That is another form. That can also happen.
Either way, it's not pleasant.
Over money, huh? Okay. I
So, as you guys are traveling, this is still the first day, and you guys are about to make camp for the night, uh, to be just another half-day travel. What is some camp activities that your characters might be doing to get ready for this event the next day?
Well, Sylvia burrows. She digs a hole down, and then over, and then a little bit up, and she sleeps in that.
You notice that this is great clayey earth that makes really stable tunnels that you're able to burrow through rather easily. The minerals in the earth smell delicious to you. You know this is great, and it provides you a great sense of relief from the acrid environment of the smoke.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to it all day. It's peaceful, it's calm, there's no predators about, there's no danger. Safe down here, and it doesn't smell like fire and death.
Holt, he would spread out his bedroll, and before setting down for the night, he's actually going to take the skull off of his belt and actually place it on like a low-hanging branch of a nearby tree. And like Gilderoy, you've probably seen this over the last couple nights, but like the Holt, he stands there in sort of reverence of the skull, and you know it as him praying to his gods.
At first, this was something that definitely made me uncomfortable. Just kind of like an eerie, like felt like it was watching me kind of thing. And the more I watched you do it, and like the procedural habit of how you've been, you know, ground in on how to do this particular, ritual, I've kind of like brought it to my life as a routine, something to expect every night, and it's comforting at this point.
I'm going to kind of take a space to myself and draw my sword and my shield and just practice through my combat training. You know, practicing with my weapons before I go to bed.
Great. As you are practicing with your weapons, Edward, you see Gilderoy pull something out of his sack, which you instantly recognize the smell. And Gilderoy, this is your last cheddar basil scone that you have been saving since you've left Oak City, and you feel like now's the time to eat it since you're going to need your strength for tomorrow.
Damn it! Now I want a cheddar basil scone.
Now, wait a second. That's stereotype in there. Not all mice like cheese. It just so happens that I do.
Racist.
I mean,
Racist.
let's be real. I'm not a rabbit, and that sounds delicious. I kind of pull it out and look at it, and take a look around our little camp here. And I feel like everyone, even Silver, kind of like peeks out of the burrow she's made to see this like treasure in my hands. And it's been a couple days, so it's kind of stale, enough that like if I went to go break it, it wouldn't like just rip apart. So I break it into as 5 equal pieces as I can, and go to everyone and kind of give them what's left of this scone. This will do us good, chaps. That's all I got.
Well, I appreciate the offer. I am vegan. I don't eat cheese.
In that case, I'll take it, please.
I was gonna say that too. I said I'm a druid. I'm not a vegan.
Hey, you take it.
I see Holt back there not speaking up and kind of toss it to him because this is like, a speck in his hand.
Holt would look down at whatever it is that Gilderoy just handed him and just like trying to hide the suspicion and like sniff it, and just like when like making sure Gilderoy isn't looking, because like Holt understands enough that Gilderoy is an asset, and like if he were to like offend Gilderoy in any way, that he might lose that asset. But he does sort of like rear back in disgust a little bit. It's just like takes out like one of the flasks of ale that he has and just like just chase
It's horrible,
it down.
man. You don't want it, man. Trust me, it's horrible. You don't want it.
Yeah,
You
really.
know how these. It's not northern food, man. You don't want it. Trust me, I'll take care of it for you.
No, it's fine. It's really good. I love it.
Kind of just like as a natural insight into the situation, Gilderoy will walk up and put like his hand on Holt's arm. It's all right, friend. Next time I won't make you eat it.
That's great. Everyone is going to take a point of inspiration for that. That's awesome. So the night progresses without any issues. I assume you guys set up rotations to keep watch because you all know what it is to camp in a hostile environment.
Yeah,
but
you want to do that.
Actually, Sylvia places a trap inside her burrow, so if anyone tried to come in her burrow, they would get stabbed by poison needles.
Worst part is, I will lie, if we got attacked, that was probably my first place I was going to go.
Just go in the burrow.
Yeah, do you inform your mates that you have a trap in your burrow, or what?
No, I don't. I feel like it is common courtesy not to go in somebody else's burrow, and I assume everyone else knows that.
Plus, the point of a trap is that no one knows it's there, so...
There's that too.
Fair point.
I mean, to be completely honest, Sylvia is following this badger because she still thinks there's a 40% chance that he started the fire. And then there's a 50% chance that if she follows him, he will invariably lead her to the people who started the fire because he's hunting them. And then there's a 10% chance that this is a waste of time.
Yeah. So, how do we want to split up watches? We got 4 of us. We can do 2. We can do 2 watches with 2 people. Do 4 watches each with a single person.
Yeah, I personally don't mind either one.
I can take a watch by myself.
I'll take watch with him, and then I'll sleep while he's on watch. How's that? That sounds perfect to me.
Yep, sounds good.
I'll look to Edward. Then I guess I'll join you in the morning time then.
That works for me, my friend. Thank you for
Great.
the cheddar scone, by the way. It's been years since I've had one.
No worries, friend. The generosity of the gilded, it's all we have.
And these days, need every little thing you can that reminds you of home.
Now, as a resident of Oak City, would he have an idea of who the ruling family is, Philip?
Absolutely. And Edward, you would know that Sylvia is not a hare because the hares in Oak City have made it pretty apparent that the rabbits are not hares. They are not of royal blood. They are not to be worshipped as a hare. But Gilderoy is definitely a hare. And he's also that same golden color that those royals are.
My character won't ever mention it to anybody, but if anything, you probably noticed I'm trying to almost talk with a northern accent. I did spend some time there as well, but my monastery is a little bit more secluded in the mountains, and the only real way to get to them is through the heartlands, a passage through the heartlands into the mountains. So you can clearly tell I'm faking it, and just with my color and like my stature, my posture, I definitely give you the vibe of a more royal court bringing than just some average traveling healer.
He's got the royal swag.
Can I roll? Can I roll to see if I recognize that? With maybe an insight check or something.
Yeah, either insight or history, whatever you'd like.
All right. Yeah, I think I'll do insight on that. 22.
Yeah, so you notice that when he's wiping his mouth from the crumbs of the scone, like he's saying his posture, the way that he kind of just has these hand gestures, he is definitely of the royal court back at Oak City. But you would not expect someone from the royal court to be out here in a refugee camp. You know that they have their own area.
Contingency plan.
Exactly.
I take it this is during the watch, or during our watch.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine either in the time coming up to that, maybe putting together some pieces about it, ultimately concluding the watch.
So, what brings a golden hair this fall to this situation? What brings a golden hair to be a monk?
Well, I don't really think that I probably would be in the position to swap a life tale right now. But to summarize, basically, maybe putting the pieces together, you have concluded that the matriarch, this hierarchy is a matriarchal system, so the queen is the powerful one. She takes multiple suitors, with the primary suitor being like the direct descendant kind of situation. I, being a male and of one of the minor suitors, am not really going anywhere here. I'm just kind of a seat in court. And I was a loose end shipped to a monastery and came back at a wrong time. Here I am.
Well, no matter what your bloodline, I'm glad to have you out here, my friend.
And
What did you do to get shipped off to the monastery? Is what I want to know.
I was just a loudmouth, which is kind of the transition that anyone who's seen me prior to that, because I'm almost positive Edward, kind of looking up to the Oak Guard, would have a mild idea of the nobility there. I was the loudmouth, the class clown, if you will, and just wasn't cut out for noble.
You likely have even teased Sylvia as a child, knowing that she's a rabbit and not a hare. And you guys are of similar age and have kind of taken different paths to result in the same stoicism and philosophy. But Sylvia, I think you don't recognize specifically who Gilderoy is, but
I have, for the most part, tried to keep my, like lower half of my face covered.
Yeah, you suspect he's from the royal family, but you don't know that he specifically has bullied you in the past because you were a rabbit.
I still don't like him. Golden hairs are all trouble.
Yeah, that's fair. I wouldn't like him either.
assholes.
I'm a bully. Fuck.
You were not anymore.
Right. Yeah, for sure. I can see that. My character's trying to grow as a rabbit, not a rabbit, a hare. There's a difference.
I'm gonna look at Gilderoy and just say, "Well, I'll be."
Go ahead and roll perception, you two.
11.
14.
So you guys just notice that there's the faint glow of the fire that is about a half day's march away. And it's hard to see. At nighttime, the smoke has kind of risen above and kind of lifted so that you can see down below a little bit, but that's all you really notice, and nothing else happens during your watch. Who's the next, or who else was taking watch?
It was me and Edward.
Right, and then who else is together for watch?
There was a joke about me and I'm sorry, Charles, I forgot your character's name.
Nathus. That was a joke? I was joking, man.
Okay. We're both taking watch, but he's going to sleep during it.
Perfect. And then does that mean Sylvia is taking watch on her own?
Well, Sylvia will probably get up about the time that the second watch starts, and she's not taking watch. She just so happens to be awake and watching at the same time, just because she's not tired anymore. But she's kind of a little bit going out of her way to ostracize herself, so that she's trying to give the feel that she's not part of this group. She's just following them because she has a similar goal.
During my character's watch, I'll also start some food. I guess I probably wouldn't make a fire. That's probably in bad taste, but maybe some bread, and she's vegan, so I wouldn't get her any cheese, but maybe start getting everybody some food for the morning.
Nice. So sorry, before we do that real quick though, I'll just have those other guys roll perception really quick. who were taking watch. Not you, Nethus, because you were sleeping.
Well, I got a natural 20, so I assume I see nothing because there's nothing to actually see, but
Well,
that's
yeah.
that's a
a total of
10
a
for me.
28.
Yeah, Holt, you definitely don't notice much. You took one of the earlier shifts and the smoke was still thick and heavy. And Sylvia, you noticed that so you notice that there has recently been movement in this area. You were just kind of strolling around the camp and you didn't hear anything dangerous or anything, but it seems like there are more tracks going the same way that you guys are going. But when you first came through here, you didn't see them. So you know that it's been recent and it's been a large group.
I'm gonna investigate. I'm gonna look around. I'm gonna see like what kind of animals I think might have been, that sort of thing.
Sure.
And I mean, I'm gonna try and discern like exactly how recent I think it is.
Yeah, go ahead and give me an investigation or
Um,
survival, whichever is better for you.
Well, I have advantage on survival checks for tracking. I don't know if this counts as that.
Yes, it does. Go ahead.
Okay, great. 7 or 5. So 7 plus 5 is a million.
12.
12.
Okay, so yeah, you can just tell that it's a large group. But no one that's as big as a badger. Just kind of your typical critters, but more on the vermin side.
I see. Do I have any reason to suspect that there are nefarious reasons why vermin might be moving in this direction?
Well, go ahead and roll an insight. Let's see what your
Damn it.
military tactic acumen is.
14 and 5 is 19.
Yeah, so you know that there are plenty of bands of creatures that are looking to take advantage of any sort of chaos and disaster to gather resources and power. This is the first time that Oak City has not been the seat of power of the Heartland in centuries, and they've collected a lot of resources, and there are probably people that would like to take those resources.
And just to be clear, these tracks look a couple of days old or maybe even newer than
They
that?
look like, so it's been about 3 days since you've passed through here, and it looks like they missed you by a day. They're about 2 days old.
I'm going to. Let's see. I definitely wouldn't want to. I'm going to wait for the mouse to wake up because I think I trust the mouse the most.
Okay, and they took the morning shift, so you can maybe mention something when they pass off shifts or something, and then, or yeah, it's morning time. You guys do whatever you need to do.
Great. So as soon as the mouse wakes up, I'll be like waiting nearby, and as soon as he starts stirring, I'm just going to walk over to him and be like, "There, vermin nearby. Head in the direction we're heading. Probably trouble."
In that case, we need to get there as soon as we can.
Then we're in agreement. We should leave now. We don't have time for breakfast.
Ordinarily, I disagree, but yes, we need to hustle.
Excellent. You inform the others. I'm going to scout on ahead.
I'm going to start waking up the others. Look, get up. We got to go.
I make a mark on a nearby tree, and I say, "This is my mark. If you see it, that's where I went."
Great. So the town of Willow Creek is about a half day's journey trek away. So you guys are on a trail that's been kind of recently paved from all the refugees, and it's so well traveled, it's kind of tough to discern where people are going and how many people are going where. So did great last night, just kind of in your element where everything was quiet. But yeah, let's see what you can find as you scout ahead.
All right, I'm gonna make another survival check. That's better. 18 to track.
Yeah, so you notice that they're ahead about a half day's break, a half day's trek into your scouting, and from Willow Creek, there was an offshoot. A large group of people strayed from the path.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over there then. I can move at full speed while stealthed, so I'm gonna sneak up and see if I can find them.
Okay, are you going to leave your mark, letting them know where you've...
Yeah, I'm gonna make a mark that indicates that I went that way, and I'm gonna mark that I went over towards where I'm going.
Okay, and go ahead and roll stealth for me.
Stealth, I add 7, so 21.
Okay, so the rest of you guys have made your way behind Sylvia, who took off early in the morning. Gilderoy, you were halfway through breakfast and were able to cook a few things, but you weren't able to cook everything that you wanted. So you had a decent grub, but it wasn't terrific. And everyone else, you're making your way past. Everybody roll perception.
Am I included in this, everybody?
No, not you. No.
Okay.
14.
16.
That's a 15.
17.
Great. So you guys all see the mark that Alex has left, indicating that he went down this pathway. And as you see the mark, you also see that there were tracks leading down that way. So switching back to Alex now. Just 1 second. Oh, Alex. So you are creeping down this path, and as you get about 500 feet down it, you see that there is a makeshift camp ahead. It's by a very small creek as a water source, and it looks like there are about 6 or 7 tents. As you are creeping towards it, you see that most of the camp is empty, but there are a couple guys sitting around the campfire.
All right. How many people would I judge probably are in this camp based on the size of the tents and like based on the size of the tents and the number of the tents? What do I believe is the maximum number of people who are probably there when everyone is there?
Yeah, probably about 20 to 25.
Excellent. And how much time do I think I have ahead of my colleagues?
So, you're pretty fast when you want to be. So you probably have a solid 10 minutes ahead of them.
All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to burrow underground towards their camp. If I can, I'm gonna get to their camp, and then I'm gonna run back up and wait for them, so that I can head down to the burrow and ambush them when I get up there.
Okay, so you start digging.
Yeah, so I start digging, but I'm gonna do my best to time it so that I can get back to the start of my burrow when they start getting near the burrow. But I'm also gonna mark the burrow with my mark to say, like, I went down in here.
Okay. Go ahead and roll perception.
Okay. Also, I'm going to take my burrow's going to be like 10 feet underground.
Yeah.
Perception, 22.
Okay. So as you start burrowing, you hear a snap, and you see, like right as you start to dig, branches snap behind you, and you look around and see 2 ferrets, teeth bared, holding thorn daggers in their hands. And roll initiative, just Alex.
20 total, not natural.
Okay. Go ahead and decide what you'd like to do.
From the posturing, I can tell that they intend to attack, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to dash over and, in one motion, draw and swing my Moonwood sword at the nearest ferret. And then I'm going to dash as a bonus action to run back away from them.
Okay.
And I have advantage on attacks for anyone who hasn't acted yet. 16 and 7. 23.
You hit.
And I am going to deal. I deal 9, 15, 19 damage.
Okay. Go ahead and describe the death of one of these weasels.
So the ferrets, right?
Oh yeah, ferrets. Sorry.
So the ferret comes. They both like turn, and they're all hee hee hee. And I spin, and I run over to it, looking like I'm gonna punch him. But at the last second, I actually shift slightly, grab my sword, and cut him clean in half. And then I take a jump. I take a step back, jump onto a tree, and then bolt past him. Bolt past the other one, and I run a full 30 feet away.
So I think you provoke an attack of opportunity if you do that.
But he hasn't acted yet, so he's can't take attacks of opportunity, right? Is that true, or is that made up? Did I just make that up?
Does anyone else know anything? Because I've never heard that before, but that doesn't mean it's
No,
not
you
true.
know what? I think that's only in 3.5. Yeah, that's fine. I provoke an attack of opportunity and I run away.
Okay. And he's gonna say, "Me brother!" and swipe at you. Oh gosh. Does 16 hit?
Nope.
What was that?
No, it does not hit me.
No. Okay, and he's just swinging around, and you can dash away from him, and you see that he kind of runs back to the couple of guys sitting around the campfire, and what do? You head down the trail,
Well, if he
offshoot trail?
runs, if he isn't going to come after me, I'm going to throw a dart at him, and then I'm going to continue running back.
Okay. Wait. What's the range of a dart?
It's got to be more than 30 feet, right? Oh, I don't know. I
You
throw it. Let me
dash.
see. Yeah,
You dash though, so you're 60 feet away, and he ran away, so
I'm-
you're
I'm 60
120
feet
feet
away.
away.
I think I'm only okay.
There's no way. You're 120 feet away. You dashed. He dashed.
Well, when you don't use your movement to dash, yeah, okay, that's fine. I'm too far away. I run away. I run back to them. I tell them what's up.
Okay. So as you're running back, boom, you see you're almost back on the main trail, and these guys have just taken a side path, seeing your mark.
I think as an accident, like Gilderoy maybe like stepped out of a bush and like we mildly clipped each other just to
Yeah.
kind of, increase tension.
Perfect.
I'll apologize profusely, but
reactionary, I jump away and draw my sword again, and then I realize it's just you, and I hesitate.
Sorry.
Put my sword away. I'm like, all right, they're over there. Maybe 5 minutes. I don't know how many of them there are, but they've spotted me. I cut one of them down, but they're definitely malicious. They're definitely out
And
to
you
hurt
know
people.
the camp is mostly empty.
Yes, and the camp is mostly empty, which means whoever came here, they've probably already moved to attack the village. We need to go there now.
I agree. Let's go.
Because I have a -5 penalty to my movement speed, is it right if I somehow convince the badger to let me like hop on his back?
You go ahead and roll persuasion, or unless you just want to let him do it, Holt.
You wish to use me as some form of pack mule? Like some bastardized master blaster?
Now, Holt, I wouldn't jump to such bold conclusions. He just is merely asking for a hand.
On one condition.
Well, I'm
The
sure he's
moment-
obliged to.
The moment that a fray breaks out, I throw you.
Edward, will
he-
you agree to that?
Sorry, guys. My friends showed up without calling. Like they literally
Yeah, no problem.
door.
So do you need to go, or are you?
Yeah. I'm gonna need to hop off.
Okay,
I'm so sorry.
cool, no problem. So we're gonna have you run back to the camp to let Abigail know about the attack on Willow Creek.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Cool. We'll meet you back later. Bye. So it looks like you do not need to carry and throw the mouse, although keep that in mind because that's going to be awesome.
Wait, no, I want to tell you about my condition. And then he just runs off.
That makes me think a Druid of the Circle would be fun. Shapeshift and have him throw me.
Yeah.
All right. Literally, funniest thing you guys just said that. That was like the longest running joke in my home game is Pocket Druid. Have someone turn into a mouse and then throw the mouse and have them turn into like a bear. Yeah, you got a pocket bear.
That is awesome.
That's perfect.
Way better than Bag of Tricks because you know what you're going to turn into every time.
I think Dale Gribble, but instead of Pocket Sand, Pocket Bear.
Pocket sand.
Okay, so you guys want to go ahead and race down to the village?
Absolutely.
Great.
Yeah, for sure.
So before
Um,
we do that, how's everyone feeling? Does anyone need a break, or do you want to go another 30 minutes and then take a break?
I'm good to go.
I'm good.
I mean, I'd like to take a break,
I'm
but
good.
if it's the majority saying no, we can wait another 30 minutes.
Well, this is the advantage of being on my phone. I can go smoke a cigarette while we're playing.
Yeah, that's true. Well, Baron, you need a cigarette, man?
I was gonna go smoke one before we started playing, but I had to make my character real fast. I was like, "Fuck priorities," so I've been stuck.
So I leave it up to Alex and Holt. What do you say, guys? Jonathan, Alex.
Hey, if we need to take a break, I'm totally cool with that.
I'm by no means required to go smoke a cigarette. I can wait a half hour. It's no big deal.
I'm indifferent.
He's lying.
Yeah. All right. We'll take a short 5-minute break.
All right, sounds good.
Like 6:40, we're rolling. All right.
So is anybody staying in here?
I'm here.
Yeah, but I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick.
Yeah, I'm gonna go pee.
I never go anywhere, so that's why I was asking. I think, what's the guy's name that wanted to go smoke?
Aaron?
I think I seen him playing a Harbinger playtest. I'm not for sure.
Harbinger? Yeah, I played a game with him.
Yeah, I got a group.
I played a couple games with Aaron.
Well, I'll be honest. I used to play D&D years ago, and then I just got back in really about a year ago. I'm like 42 years old, so I'm just getting back to. I'm still kind of honestly getting used to the 5e system.
Baron's not here, right? You won't hear me talking shit. Baron's a cool guy. I enjoy
So how long you been playing, man?
me?
Yep.
For like, geez, I don't know, since I was 14, so that's what, like 13 years now?
Yeah, that's a good bit of time to be playing. What system did you start with?
The first system I played was 3E, and then I went and played 2E for a while, and then 3.5 until 5th edition came out. I've also played Fate, and I played GURPS, but I didn't like it. Played a bunch of systems.
Well, I played. I know all the systems. I played all of them. I kind of missed out basically on Pathfinder. That's the time I quit playing.
Yeah, Pathfinder's just 3rd edition with less splat books.
Yeah, I figured that out because the first game I wind up DM when I come back was with a group of guys around I live, and they were complaining about they were going through everything their level, and I got in there and saw what was going on, but I realized it wasn't nothing but an extension of 3.5.
Pathfinder is basically OSR 3.5.
But see, I played Marvel Superheroes, the old TSR version, Palladium's Turtles, Rifts, Shadowrun 3rd edition. I Fate. I really like Fate. I think if nothing else, it's a good exercise to practice ad libbing and role playing. Letting your non DM players kind of help build a little bit. I'm trying to think of what else I played. I've played a bunch of them. A lot of them I never got to play. I just bought the books, but never could talk anybody to play with me.
Same.
Yeah, I kind of just play whatever anytime anyone wants to run something, like, I'll play. I don't need to know the rules. I'll figure it out. Don't worry. The only problem with that is now I know so many rules that I'm like, this is a rule. Wait, not in this game.
Which system? That was kind of my thing about third edition. I know 5 is better on Shadowrun, but I don't really want to learn another system unless I'm really sold to it at this point. What was that message?
It's Jacob messaging about his friend, really apologizing for having to jump off.
Okay, I'm gonna say this, and it's probably gonna be crude, but unless that was a girl, I'd have told him fuck off.
Even if that was a girl, I'd be like, nah, bro, I'm busy.
I got priorities.
Well, I'm willing to accept that if you're gonna get a little booty, I'll accept you bailing on me.
Cool. So yeah, no combat yet, guys, but it's coming. Don't worry.
Combat, I
Great.
killed somebody.
That's true. That's true. Great role playing, by the way. This is great.
Combat is fun, but that's not where the real meat of the game for me comes in.
Yeah, I think you guys are doing a terrific job of exploring your characters in this pretty bizarre setting.
I'm back. You can carry on.
The path towards the town of Willow Creek. As you guys are approaching, you can see that the fire has come dangerously close to the city. How about all of you guys take roll for perception? Sorry.
I got a 9.
I got a... Fuck, I am so bad at math. 22.
That's a big 7.
Sweet. Okay, so Holt and Nithaus, you guys basically just see that the fire is burning on the hillside behind the city, and you see just smoke is billowing off of it. That's basically all you can see, and that the bridge lay ahead. Gilderoy and Sylvia, you guys see that although the fire is approaching the city, which is on the south bank and a little bit on the north bank, it's mostly on the south bank, and the fire is approaching it from the south. You see that from the north, crossing on the bridge and also through the water, is an army of rats, weasels, ferrets, stoats.
Can we see any sort of commander yelling orders or anything?
Not that you can discern from this far.
Holt gets a dark look in his eyes, darker than usual, and he feels a fray brewing within his bones, and he clutches his right fist and brings up his hand towards his mouth, and you guys see a ring that wasn't there before, a ring crafted of gold with a ruby set in it, and he kisses it 3 times and grips his flail at his hip.
Well, is that right? Let's see how you Northerners fight.
You'll see before the day's done.
And yeah, I'm pretty sure we go and engage in violence.
Cool. So as you guys are approaching, there are about 5 creatures that are on the bridge, and there are at least 15 more in the water making their way across the embankment. Do you want to try and engage the creatures on the bridge or go through the water?
Actually, I'd like to cast oh dad got it, the entangle on the bridge.
Great. What's the distance for entangle?
Hold on a second.
We would be trapped on the bridge anyhow. We would get to the center and they would just skirt around and attack us from the other end. At least in the water, we have one side of the river of our own.
Yeah, well, I'll let you. I'll say that you're within range. And what is the effects of entangle?
It's 90 feet,
Okay, yeah, you're definitely within 90 feet.
and it'll hold them still for up to a minute.
And that, what is the? Do they have to roll or?
Yeah, they have to resist my spell resistance, which is oh, let me calculate that. 14.
It's a strength save against his DC.
Yeah.
Okay. So there are 5 of them. And what's the like area that you affect?
A 20-foot square.
20-foot square. Okay, I'll say you can get to 3 of them. And go ahead and describe what it looks like to entangle one of these 3.
Oh, that sucks. Okay, you see plants kind of start sprouting out from the wood, like the wood's almost growing. And it reaches up and grabs around his feet and like holds him in place.
Perfect. And this weasel is looking down and and the other ones that were able to break free of the vines growing around their ankles look straight up at you, and they yell at the other ferrets and the one large rat that's also on the bridge with them, and they all look towards you. Everybody roll initiative.
I just point at the rat and stare him in the eyes.
Nice.
19.
Nat 1.
I got a 14.
Okay.
Put mine in chat. I got 21.
Okay, so you get to go first, Baron.
Righto. seeing that Nephaus, I think is his name. Nephaus kind of trying to handle the bridge situation. Gilderoy has opted for a more offensive stance than he has portrayed in this entire adventure. He usually displays himself as a very, relaxed, not very on edge. The spear that I carry is more of a walking stick, if anything. But right now, I am, I'm moving dirt as I shift into position with my feet. I'm very sturdy, and there's a forceful presence here that wasn't there before. And I am actually how far from the river?
Well, you're about 100 feet, but the chipmunk kind of ran forward a little bit in front of you guys to cast the spell. So I would say you're 100 feet, except the chipmunk.
Righto. I am going to get as close to the river as I can and pull some darts and throw them across my body at whoever is closest to the side of the bank. So I imagine like one or two darts. I have an extra attack at level 5, so 2.
Okay, yeah, so you're going to attack one of the groups on the embankment.
Yeah. So whereas he's handling the ones on the bridge, I'm going for the ones in the water.
Okay, so yeah, if like we're looking straight down in the path and there's a group of 5 on the bridge, then there's probably like 2 groups of 5 on the left side, and there's 1 group of 5 on the right.
In my mind, I'm on the right side, I guess.
Okay, so you're going to the right side. Perfect. So go ahead and throw 2 darts.
First dart was a 19. Second dart was a 10.
That does not.
I believe it is 1d4. 5 points of damage.
Okay. And one of the darts just sails and slams right into the shoulder of a stoat.
The other kind of bloop into the water, gone forever.
Nice. Sorry, just 1 second.
And I'll kind of just maintain like a stance on the riverbank, try and gain their attention.
Yeah. Okay. So, what's going to happen then is 2 of these groups get to go, and the ones on the bridge are going to come towards you guys, as well as the ones that were in the water almost on the south side of the embankment. And you hit the last straggler of that group, Gilderoy. Those guys are all going to come towards you too, and the other 2 groups are going to advance into the town, and you see them kind of like disappearing into the different houses and huts and such. And so they're going to use their slings and arrows to attack. So what's everyone's AC real quick?
19.
Jeez.
11.
14.
Gilderoy?
You're muted.
The curse of me playing online. Mine is 17.
17. Okay. Okay, so for Baron and Nethouse, you guys are the most prominent, and so the ones on the bridge are going to be attacking you guys. And two hit you, Gilderoy, and one hits you, Methuselah. And so, sorry. Gilderoy, you take 9 damage as a stone and an arrow sling hit you in the head and then pierce you in your calf. And Nethouse, you take 4 damage as a stone sails and slams right into your stomach.
Okay.
And then the other 5 that are struggling back across the river have now made their way onto the riverbank and are not yet able to attack. So go ahead, Sylvia.
Right. And you said I'm how far away again?
You are about 100 feet. But Gilderoy and Nethouse are closer.
Okay, so I move 25 feet closer, and then I use a bonus action to dash another 25 feet closer. And then they're just within range. Is there anyone that I can attack who hasn't acted yet in this combat?
They have... Sure, yeah, we'll say that there is definitely a rat that was lingering back on the embankment.
Great, I'm going to attack him. He's at disadvantage range for a dart, but since you haven't acted, I have advantage, which cancels it out too. I'm just going to roll. 9 and 7 is 16 to hit.
That does not hit. These creatures are all wearing stout bark and hide armors.
Ah, that's too bad. So
They look well equipped.
Well, that's me.
Okay. Go ahead, Nethouse.
Okay. You said the 5 in the water are out of the water now?
Yep, and they are on the north bank,
Damn you, I was
which
gonna
is
try
the
to
side
lightning
you
bolt
guys
that
are on.
water.
There are a few that are still ankle deep in the water for sure.
Just how many I think I can hit on that bank with a lightning bolt?
What is the dimensions of the lightning bolt?
If I remember correctly, it's only 5 feet wide. Basically, it goes 120 yards.
And it's a line?
Yes, but it does actually have like a 5-foot width to it, so you could catch like a couple
Yeah.
together.
Yeah, you got 3.
And I'm hoping the water disperses almost like a ball a little bit. I won't lie.
Sure.
19 points of damage.
Do they get to roll anything?
Yes, they get a dex save, and it's at 15.
Okay. Oh, wow. And what happens on a successful dex save?
Take half damage.
And what damage did you do?
19.
So even though all three of them were able to jump out of the water and out of the way of your lightning bolt, you still sizzle to a crisp, two of them, and severely burn one of the bigger ones of the group.
Good. I feel accomplished now.
That was a great shot. Go ahead, Holt.
All right, let's see here. Was there one out of the two groups that seemed to be like a commanding type, more like a leader, sort of like maybe one that's bigger than all of them?
Each group looks like they are led by some type of sergeant, if you will, squad commander. So the one on the bridge and the other three groups of five, each group of five is kind of led by a person.
All right. Well, so I'm going to rage. You guys watch as like Holt just sort of gets this like battle fury like coursing through him, and he's going to take. Let's see. He's going to pull out two javelins and chuck both of them at let's say the commander on the bridge. They have a range of 120 feet.
Sweet. You can easily hit the commander on the bridge.
Let's see. So
There's like one large black rat in each group of ferrets and weasels and stoats, and they seem to be the best equipped.
Let's see. That one was a 10. I don't think that hits.
Nope.
Got it. And the next one is a 15.
That also does not hit.
Damn it.
These very thick bark armor.
Let's see. I can't enter a frenzied rage on the same turn, can I? No, I have to wait until my next turn.
On your primary, yeah, no.
Okay. Well, I'm useless.
Sorry, you guys are about to. Once you're in melee, I think it'll be better. And it is now the rats on the bridge turn. They have turned around from the bridge and are starting up the path towards you guys. And three of them are hanging back, and two of them are running towards you guys. So the three are going to make ranged attacks. And they are going to be targeted at you, Gilderoy, and you, Holt. And Gilderoy, an arrow sails right past you. And Holt, a rock comes slinging towards you and slams into you for 6 damage.
What type of damage is that?
Bludgeoning.
Okay, that's halved because I'm raging.
Sweet. And then go ahead, Gilderoy.
How many people were left in the water, or did Nefhouse take care of them.
Nethos took care of all the ones in the water. There are now 2 weasels and 1 rat left from the water coming towards you.
I would like to kind of use the bank to my advantage to make like a running leap with my spear down into one of them.
Okay, I'll let you deal an extra d4 of damage with that.
Do you want me to roll like an athletics or something, acrobatics?
No, I'll assume you get to just roll your regular attack and it'll deal extra damage if you hit it.
So the first one's a 7.
It misses.
Or 8, sorry. Not that that matters. I'm gonna think like I land, and I'm gonna use my extra attack to kind of like come up with my spear. That one is a 17.
So that hits, but that doesn't get extra damage.
Correct. That is a D6. Or well, I'm using it with 2 hands. Would you consider that the D8?
Yeah.
So that's a 7 damage, and then as my bonus action, kind of like a retextured unarmed strike, I'm just gonna hit him with the butt of my spear. This was all on one guy. You said there was a weasel, just a weasel.
Yeah.
So that is
Yep.
a total of 4. So I think a total of 9 damage.
Okay, go ahead and describe the death of this weasel.
So I kind of like ran and jumped and missed, maybe it's like a hesitation or something. And seeing him next to me, maybe just the smell of this vermin. I come up with a slash and it kind of slashes him across the chest. And then I finish him off with a blunt strike to the side of the head.
And the weasel falls into the mud, squishing as it lands into the mud embankment.
And like, finishing with like spear at the ready, gazing as intimidating as I can be to these other 2 guys.
Nice. Sylvia.
Okay, now how far from the actual bridge am I now?
I believe you're 50 feet.
Okay. I use my movement to move closer to the bridge. Are there people standing in between me and the bridge right now?
There are people on the path that are between you and the bridge, and there are 2, like 1 bowman and 1 slinger on the bridge. Sorry, yes, 1 bowman, 1 slinger, and then the rat leader, which also has a bow that it's been firing at you guys, or no, is throwing javelins at you guys. And then there are 2 weasels that have come up the path towards you and are within 20 feet.
Yeah, I want to run towards the bridge. I'm going to run to the people who are currently in between me and the bridge. And is someone standing over there so I can get not flanking, but the sneak attack for someone being nearby?
That is right near where Gilderoy is. Well, Gilderoy's kind of at the embankment, actually. So maybe Nethhouse or Holt could be near there.
I'm going to stab somebody standing next to Holt.
Sure.
So again, I run over and in 1 death movement, draw my sword and slash with it at the same time. 20 to hit.
That hits.
And he will deal, that's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 damage.
Go ahead and describe its death.
Well, this is a another ferret. I've got it out for them for some reason.
Yeah.
And this time I move to cut and like he readies himself to defend, and I just skid towards him and cut him at the legs, and hit I don't remember the name of this artery is on my leg, but I cut that artery and it just gushes blood, and he falls down with a scream. And as he falls, I nick his throat and he dies.
Just cutting off the sound immediately.
Yeah, because it's annoying, I don't want to listen to this guy die.
Nice. Damn, that's awesome. Okay, go ahead, Nethos.
What's my turn?
Yep.
How many of them are on the bridge still?
So there are 3 of them on the bridge. A slinger, a bowman, and one throwing javelins. And the one throwing javelins is a big black rat that looks better equipped than anyone else.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead
And then there,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
from the embankment, there are only 2 creatures left. You see that Gilderoy has advanced to the embankment and taken one of the weasels out. A ferret and a rat. Big black rat that is also better equipped.
The 3 on the bridge, are they within a 20-foot cube of each other?
Yes, they are.
I'm dropping my entangle spell and I'm gonna cast Fairy Fire. Bright red. Actually,
Okay.
they have to make a dex save at 15. If they fail, they're stuck with the fire around them, and it gives anybody an advantage to attack.
So the big black rat is able to scurry past and right into the area where you just broke the entanglement spell. But the other 2 ferrets are stuck and are affected by the fairy fire. And what does it do again?
They can move. It just lights them up and makes it where everybody has advantage to hit them.
Okay.
So like they're outlined in a red color.
Okay. And then Holt. So Holt, you are standing in a pool of blood as Sylvia, right? You just gutted one of them in front of him.
Oh, gut is the wrong word. I severed his leg and then slit his throat.
That's right. Severed his leg and then slit his throat.
Yeah, actually, having watched his own javelins just sink into the river, and then seeing this Lepine sneak thief so easily dispatch an enemy near him, it sends him into a frenzy. And how far off is that big, like, commanding black rat up on the bridge?
So the bridge is about 40 feet away from you.
Oh, so could I get up to him? Because I have 40 feet of movement.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, yeah, I'm just going to clutch my spear in my left hand and my flail in the other hand and just charge him. And then just make a spear, then slash across his face with my flail.
Fuck yeah. Roll.
Jesus. Spear was an 11.
That thrust missed.
And then the flail was an 11. Jesus Christ, I'm rolling like shit tonight.
Yeah, that's rough. Sorry. You are just incapable of hitting. I mean, he's well equipped, but he's also fast as shit. You know that this is a well-trained soldier.
Wait, I think I might get a... Oh, never mind. No, I went into a frenzy as a bonus action, so I can't use my third attack until my next turn. So yeah, that's the end of my turn.
Okay, so now it's the rats. Yeah, sorry, they go
No.
after Holt. Yeah. So you, Gilderoy, are surrounded by remaining Weasel and the black rat on the embankment. Holt, 2 weasels and 1 black rat around you. And Sylvia and Nethaus. Actually, Sylvia, you have 1 weasel by you, and Nethaus, I don't think you have anyone by you.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, you're still pretty far back, right? Just casting spells.
Yeah, I never moved up.
Yeah, okay, so you don't have anyone by you. Okay, sorry. All right, so Gilderoy, we're going first. We have the black rat and the weasel that are going to slash at you.
Bring it on.
And so the black rat hits you with his first slash and then misses you so severely that he stumbles and provides an opening for you to strike at him with an unarmed attack.
17.
And you're able to get him.
4 points of damage.
Sweet.
So he slashes me for
Broke
how
his
much
nose.
damage?
And he slashes you for 16.
Jesus.
And you can tell that he is just frothing at the mouth, and he
And
has
I like
put
to think
extra
that
stink on that.
he slashed me, and in his like downward motion kind of threw himself into the water, and maybe I dropped onto him and just punched him in the mouth.
Yeah, bloodied his lip. You can see it's just fat now.
Gave him a good old mollywop.
I'll get you for that.
I expect you to.
And it's your turn. Or wait, sorry. No, I got to do the rest of the rats. So Holt, you have 2 around you. The one with the bow is going to drop his bow and pull out a alligator tooth knife and swing at you. And the rat is also going to swing at you with his blade. So the weasel misses, and the rat misses his first attack. But his first attack was a feint that has left you exposed, and he is able to reach back and just stab you in the side. And he is going to deal 30 damage to you as he stabs you right underneath your armpit. It was a critical, but I only rolled 3, but he also has his martial advantage.
So, as a reskinned Goliath, I have an ability called Stone's Endurance. So that means I can reduce damage I take by a d12 plus my con modifier.
Awesome.
Yeah. So let's see. It's reduced by, so that would have been halved to 15. and then it's reduced by 8. So that would have been 7 damage I took altogether.
7 damage, and you can just see the bewilderment of the rat as he just does not realize how thick and like foldy your fur is, and he tries to dig the knife in, but it barely even hits.
And I stare down at him and say, "Oh, did your toothpick not break the skin?"
And then the last attack is going to be the ferret, which is attacking Sylvia. And Sylvia, you are too fast for him to hit you.
Too best by far. This is just a silly little ferret.
And Gilderoy's turn.
All right, so at this moment, I got this guy kind of like by like the top of like his neck, breastplate area. And I like laid into him, hitting him in the face. I reached back into the water to grab my dropped spear to kind of plunge it into him with maybe like 2 plunges for 2 attacks, depending. The first one is a crit, and the second one is a miss. So,
Wait, you're attacking this rat, right?
Yes, correct.
Nice.
I got a 20 for the first one, and then I got a 7-13 for the second one. So
The second one misses.
how do you do crits?
Go ahead and roll your damage, total it all, double it.
Okay. $10 damage.
All right, so another significant blow as you actually manage to cut off the arm of this. But he
And
is
then
still going. It looks like, he screams, but he just grips his blade even tighter.
I'm going to use my bonus action to spend a key point to ready a dodge.
All right.
I think that's the
What
ability.
what does that do?
I think I just give him disadvantage. I give everyone disadvantage to attacks against me. I think.
Dodge? Yeah, that's what dodge does.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
dodge
is.
gives everyone disadvantage to attack you.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do then.
Okay. Sylvia, your turn.
Okay, how far away am I from this rat leader that's attacking the hare?
You are about. You're still 50 feet away.
Hmm. All right, well, I'm going to try and kill this ferret, and then I'll move over there. There's someone standing near me, right? Next to this ferret?
Holt, I believe.
Holt just moved away. He's now on the bridge.
Is there other people near the bridge that I can... If I were to move over there...
Yeah,
Could I...
you're 40 feet from the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can make it to the bridge, there are 2 ferrets and a rat engaged on the bridge.
And the ferrets have fairy fire on them.
Yes.
Oh, they do.
The
That's
ferrets
even
have
better.
fairy
All right.
fire.
I'm going to use disengage as a bonus action so the ferret can't opportunity attack me. I'm going to move over to the people on the bridge, and since I had advantage, I'm going to sneak attack them.
And this is a range, right? Because you can't melee them because you're 40 feet away. So the bonus action as disengage means you get your regular 25 feet movement.
Yeah, that's fine.
you're
I
still-
will. I'll throw a dart at them then.
Okay.
Are you small size?
Yeah. So that's 16 to hit.
That is, it is enough to dent the shit out of their bark armor, but that's about it.
Dang it. These darts are useless.
Yeah. Go ahead, Nethouse.
The one he just attacked, I'm gonna firebolt.
Sweet.
My best roll is a 17.
That hits.
13 points of damage.
And describe the death.
Well, this bolt of fire just streaks out of my hand, hits him right in the chest. Matter of fact, the thief kind of looks at me like, you son of a bitch. And it just has a hole in its chest and it just falls over.
Nice.
And I yell out, that's mine. That counts as mine.
Your what?
My kill.
That only counts as one.
I was gonna say, like, from the sounds of the splashes on the embankment, it's just one.
Nice. Go ahead, Holt.
Okay, so now I get 3 attacks because I'm in a frenzied rage. So basically what I want to do is spear, flail, spear, but I want to use that point of inspiration to get advantage on that flail attack.
All right.
And they're all going to be on this rat.
Sweet.
Because this rat is getting on my nerves. Oh, that's a 20 for the spear, not nat, but
Nice. Hits.
all right. So the damage with that is 8 damage with that.
All right.
Then the flail, which I have advantage on.
You cut off an ear with that one.
Ooh, the flail is 25.
Hit.
Yep. And that is 6 damage.
Probably just break an arm.
And then the second spear attack, 18.
Also a hit.
Nice. And that is another 8 damage.
So you just go to town on this guy. As you stab him with the spear, or slice with the spear, cutting off his ear, then wham, break his arm with the flail, and then puncture him in the stomach with your spear again as you yank out. And all of these creatures are just bloodied and persistent. Like they know what this is about and they are not afraid. You expect them to be afraid, but they're not afraid. They're well trained. They know what's going on here. You hear in the background the screams of the inhabitants of the village as they are trying to gather their last belongings, and rats and weasels and ferrets and stoats overtake them, tearing at them, taking whatever it is that they've collected. And so, let's see. It looks like we have one that Sylvia left still there that is going to run up to Nethouse and try to attack him. There is one weasel and one rat around Holt and Sylvia, and there is one weasel and one rat around Gilderoy. So Gilderoy will do you first. The weasel and rat around you.
How's this rat that I'm on top of looking?
This rat that you're on top of is coughing up blood. It looks like he's pretty hurt, but still has some fight in him.
And what's the positioning of the other vermin next to me?
And the other vermin is what do you mean? What's his positioning?
Like how far away, roughly?
He's engaged in melee with you.
Okay. So could I use my first attack against
At disadvantage, right?
What's that?
They're all at disadvantage.
Are
They're
they all at
attacking you.
disadvantage?
They're attacking you. It's not your turn yet.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. All right.
They're at disadvantage, I think. Okay. So yeah, you are just way too quick for this beat up rat. And as the ferret comes lunging at you with his spear, you dodge just in time for him to puncture it right into his rat boss's. But it luckily just grazes his boss's side, nicking him, but he screams in agony. And then surrounding you, Holt. They're going to both focus all of their strength on you. And they are just hacking at you, and you are just batting their weapons away, and they are not able to even begin to harm you. And then the last ferret is going to run up at you, Chipmunk, and snarl, "I've always wanted to taste some chipmunk." And he is not able to get you either, and just lunges at you as you kind of just easily dodge. Go ahead, Gilderoy. Terrible round for the vermin.
So I'm thinking, would I be able to make my first attack against the ferret or weasel that is next to me, and then my second attack on the rat that I'm on top of?
For sure.
Yes.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
you're like right in all engaged immediately.
All right, so my first attack against the one that I'm not on top of was a 14. And the second attack against the rat I'm on top of was a 21.
You hit the rat.
For 7 points of damage.
Okay. He is in really, really bad shape.
And then as my bonus action, I'm gonna kind of use the butt end of my spear to stand up, but like slamming it onto the rat that I'm on top of. Kind of my retextured unarmed attack for another 21.
That which hits.
1d6 for 2 damage.
And describe or knock out, whatever you prefer.
I kind of picture like I like slashed at the guy next to me and then like plunged into him, and like as I pulled out and like I like pushed him into the water, and maybe like the bubbles are coming up and they just kind of slow to a stop as the red plumes take over.
Sweet. Fuck yeah.
And at this point, I'm kind of not necessarily squaring up because I got my spear on the rat in the water, but I've made eye contact with the one next to me.
Nice. Go ahead, Sylvia. It looks like there's a beat up rat and a ferret right attacking Holt that have missed him.
Leave me the rat, sneak thief.
Well, just for that, I'm going to go kill that rat. No, I've decided I don't like ferrets, so I'm going to kill the ferret.
Nice.
I've killed 3 things so far, and they've all been ferrets, so I'll just kill another ferret. I'm going to move over, and since he's next to somebody, right?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, then I'm going to try and sneak attack him. Man, I've been rolling really well. That is 17.
That hits?
I think the lowest I've rolled is a 9 this whole time. That's 9. That's 14. That's 18 damage.
And describe its death.
Well, so this guy just lunged at Holt, and I put my hand on his shoulder and I spin him around as I drive my sword up his rib cage, and it pokes out the top of his neck. And then I yank the sword back, push him aside, and then flick the blood off my blade. And I start putting it away because I can see, there's only one guy left, and Holt's got this.
His foul breath lingers in the air, and you see him just lurch over and fall into the river. Go ahead, Nethhouse. You have one on you, Nethhouse.
Yeah. How many other opponents are there besides him?
There is a rat left on the bridge and a ferret left on the embankment.
Do I think I can maneuver myself to line the one up in front of me and also the one on the bridge?
Because the one on the bridge is so far away and you have your companions right next to there, I would say no.
And I have no clue what caused that. Did you hear my question?
Yeah, sorry. I would say since you are so far away and your companions are next to him, no.
Crap. Okay, I'm just gonna hit the one in front of me with a and he's still one of the ones with the fairy fire on him, right?
No, both of the ones with the fairy fire are dead.
Okay, I'm gonna drop the concentration on that then. I'm just gonna hit the one in front of me with a firebolt.
Sweet.
Yeah, I don't think I hit 14.
You do not.
That's my action.
Okay, Holt.
All right, I'm going all in on this rat again. I'm going to make all of these attacks reckless, which means I gain advantage on all of them. All attacks on me have advantage for the next whole round.
There are any attacks left.
So basically I'm just going to make 3 jabs towards his face with the spear, sort of like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon style. That's 23.
Hits.
Okay. Nat 20.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. And then 21.
Also a hit. And I'm just going to say you get to describe his death.
Okay, yeah. So, let's see, how's this going? So I want the first jab to have plucked out his eye. I just jab upwards and it just grazes his eye and turns it into jelly on his cheek. And then I want the second jab to have taken that ear that I severed and just like completely separate it from his skull. And then I want the third one to actually go wide and like run up the length of his like bark armor and just sever it in half as it falls to his sides and he like slumps down.
Awesome. And as you take out this rat commander, there are only 2 ferrets left. And you look back at your newfound chipmunk companion, brother from the north, who is getting attacked by a ferret. As this ferret slices into you for 14 damage. Nethals.
Ow.
Yeah, and then you look over Holt and see Gilderoy, who has just successfully taken out his own rat leader of that pack and is now being attacked by another ferret. That just barely misses him as the agility of Gilderoy is once again his savior. And go ahead, Gilderoy.
In my mind, it like raises the cheek in the dramatic fashion of an action movie, and I don't even wince. And I kind of want to make an intimidation off that.
Do it.
If that would. All right, so I got 12 plus. I got a 12.
Yeah, this guy is terrified. You get advantage on whatever attack you or whatever you want to do next.
Recognizing that this person or critter has comrades inside the town, I'm really fighting myself on this decision to kill him. That's not my way of doing things, but the situation is dire. So I'm going to make an attack roll or 2. The first one was a 20, not nat, and the second one was a 22.
Got him.
All right. For a total of 7 plus 8. 18 damage.
And you just completely obliterate him.
I want this to be like we were saying earlier, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Like you just see like red sprays of blood, and like a blur of me as like water and blood erupt out of the sky. I just cut him apart. And I'm gonna use my bonus action to try and get across the river or stream. Is it a stream or is it a river?
This is Willow Creek is. Yeah, it's difficult to cross.
I'm gonna use my. I guess I'm gonna use my bonus action to dash back up to the bridge where the rest of my companions are.
You can do that, no problem. And Sylvia, you are also on the bridge, and actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have this remaining ferret, which is attacking you, Nethaus, run away after seeing his lone companion just get tore apart. He knows he has no chance. And so he's going to just fully run and you get an attack of opportunity on him, Nethouse.
Uh, 18.
Which hits.
6 points of damage.
Which is enough to make him stumble but not fall. And he cries back, "Beware, Volmer is going to come for you. Volmer will destroy you." And he is just running as fast as he can back down the trail. You guys are listening to cries of agony from the town.
How far away is he?
From
when he
you,
runs?
he's like, he gets to dash because he just took the action. So he's like 130 feet away from you.
Okay, good.
Good for him.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm going to shoot my longbow at him then.
Do it.
I'm going to shoot my longbow and then I'm going to run into the town. And
Okay.
it's within the first range increment, so there's no disadvantage. And I am pretty fucking sure a 25 hits, so
It does.
I don't get sneak attack, so it won't deal very much damage. But you know what I will do? I will use my bonus action to fast hands put poison on the arrow.
Okay.
And he will. Oh, that's max damage. That's 12 damage.
All right. You are able
Actually, no,
to
wait. He
kill
gets
him.
the Constitution save against the poison. It's DC 10, so he'll probably make it. But
Didn't make it.
okay, good. The arrow, like he turns back to yell, and as he turns back to yell, the arrow just goes straight into his mouth through the back of his throat.
Just when he thought he had gotten away and was going to be able to get retaliation against this meager group of heroes, the arrow just fires straight back to his throat.
I look to Holt and I say, "Hey, Holt, you know why you've never heard of me? No survivors."
No one to tell your story when you're long gone.
Yeah, I'm not some kind of braggart that needs to be famous.
During the
No.
battle, the fire has finally reached the town, and some of the buildings are starting to go up. And the other groups had almost a full minute to break into houses, gather equipment, and are now quickly trying to make their way down the south embankment.
Did the fire manage to cross the bridge?
The fire has not yet reached the bridge, but it has reached the town and is starting to ignite the different buildings. It looks like some of the like bandits or army or whatever has barricaded people in buildings.
Okay, so the town is on the side of the forest that the fire started.
Exactly, but you guys have now crossed the gigantic wooden bridge, which is going to serve as a bridge for the fire also.
Okay. So, if I may, I would like to grip the head of the rat commander in one hand and just take my claws and like try and his head off in one motion.
Go ahead and make a strength check.
Okay. I have advantage on those. That is a
Sorry, a what?
it's a 21.
Oh, yeah, success.
Okay, and like I'll look at the at my three companions and say to them, "Try your best to destroy the bridge. I'm going to try my best to save those barricaded within the town."
Okay, I have a question. Do I think that if I use a 30-foot radius of rain, it'll slow the fire down where it's hitting the city or where they're at?
Yes, I would say that it would slow it down enough to
Okay,
reduce the duration by 1 round, but 1 round only.
that's not much.
And you have 4 rounds before it looks like the fire will overtake the town and reach the bridge. And every round, it's going to consume buildings with villagers inside.
Are we still in
Okay,
initiative order?
I
Um, I guess we probably should be in
Okay.
some sort of order. So we're going to say this happens after you guys have all reached the bridge, and it starts with you, Gilderoy.
Righto. So we have 4 rounds to do whatever we're gonna do in town then.
Exactly.
And Holt has already decided to make his way that way.
Yeah, you guys are all more or less on the south embankment on the south side of the bridge. You're all right there.
All right. As Holt starts to, take these large strides towards the burning city, I'm going to use every bit of my speed to rush to the first locked door and try and unjam it. Being a monk, my movement speed is increased by 10 feet, and being a hare, my movement is increased by 10 feet. So I have a total of like 50 feet.
Yeah, so you're actually going to be able to try to unlock 2 doors. So you're going to need to make strength checks, or unless you try to go in some way besides the door, it's got to be strength checks for both of them.
Okay. I am proficient in strength checks. First one is a nat 20. Second one was a 13 plus 2, 15.
So you're no problem. Are you able to quickly just rip the boards that were hastily put up to try and keep the villagers from coming out? From their position, they would have had no chance. But from your angle, obviously, you're able to just rip them right off and able to make these villagers escape no problem.
I just put my large foot against like the frame of the door and pry, or maybe like lay into it with my spear to pry it open. Just basically acting as instinctually as I can to save as many people.
And you were able to get the 2 that were the closest to the fire, making them safe for this whole round.
Basically just telling anybody inside, like, quick, to the other side of the river.
Mice and squirrels and all sorts of critters evacuate the buildings, fleeing for their lives. Go ahead, Sylvia.
So there's locked doors. Well, they're barred doors. They're not locked, right?
Yeah, hastily barred, just with debris thrown in front of them, but they're like doors that swing outward, so you can't get to it. Yeah, but from outside you're fine.
And this bridge, if I look at it, do I see any way that we could potentially take it apart so that destroy it?
You can definitely use an action to investigate the
exactly what
structure
I'm gonna
of
do.
the bridge.
I'm going to spend my action to study the bridge.
Okay.
13 and 6 is 19.
19. So you can tell that this bridge is where it's mostly a like tension bridge. So it's got a lot of ropes and wooden slats, but it's like huge. And so if you break the ropes on either side, then it will definitely weaken the bridge. And once you have the bridge weakened, you will likely be able to destroy it.
Okay, and knowing that I'm fast and good with a sharp weapon, how long do I think it would take me to cut all the ropes?
Well, it would be one action per rope, and it took you a full action to realize the integrity of this bridge. So you can move to one rope, but you wouldn't be able to cut it this round.
And how many ropes are there?
There are 4, but you only need to cut 2 of them to make it the bridge breakable.
All right, this is what I'm going to do then with my bonus action. I am going to pull out 2 daggers, throw them in the dirt, and grab one of the mice that's running across, give them a very serious, stern look, and say, when they all get across, I need you to cut that rope.
Go ahead and roll like a persuasion.
No, I'm definitely scaring him into it.
Okay, intimidation.
Yeah, I'm very stern and angry and mean and not nice, and 18.
Yeah. Yes, sir. No problem. His buddies, and they both understand what to do.
Great. And then that's it. That's all for me.
Cool. Go ahead, Nethos. You're at the bridge also.
I'm going to cast Create Water by the fire to slow it down. And one of the versions of Create Water is it comes down in a rain form in a 30-foot radius.
Fantastic. You are able to douse one of the houses that will soon be enveloped by the conflagration and slow down the burning of that for one round. Go ahead, Holt.
Am I correct in understanding when you said that there was groups of these vermin like running about through this town looting?
There are, and they are all on their way out. They've basically looted most of what they wanted while you guys were battling their brethren.
Yeah, I want to make a beeline for one of them and try and like grab him by the scruff of the neck and just like throw him to the ground.
Go ahead and roll a perception to see if you see any that
Okay.
may have lingered.
Ooh, I am not good with perception. Let's try this. 17.
Yeah, you definitely find 2 that are there.
Okay, I wanna walk
One
right.
rat leader and 1 ferret.
Okay, yeah, I want to stroll right up to them, just holding the head of their other rat commander out before them, and say to them, and like chuck the head at their feet, and just say to them, and tell Volmer that Holt is coming for him. You go and tell him that.
The rat leader will push the ferret down, knocking him prone, and dash away as fast as he can.
I look down at the ferret that was pushed to the ground. Say to him, not an honorable bunch, are you, lad?
Please, please don't kill me.
I'm not going to kill you. Everyone, what you saw here today, what I did, I want you to tell them that I'm coming.
Yes, 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 of course. And you smell the putrid scent of ferret piss as he just weasels away.
And then I don't know, was that my whole turn, or can I just go and kick in a door of a locked house?
Sure, go ahead and kick in a door of a locked house.
So that's a strength check. Which, am I still raging? We've been out of combat for a while.
You've been out of combat for technically 2 rounds, but yeah, I mean, I guess we're kind of doing like minute by minute rounds rather than 6-second rounds at this point.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm just gonna do a straight roll. That was a 14.
To kick open and break a door, but it's not enough to actually open the door. It just kind of breaks it. So people are trickling out very slowly, and it looks like only half of them will be able to make it out. However, Gilderoy has saved the first line of houses, and on the second line, one of the houses will not burn immediately, and the other house, they will all be able to escape by the time the fire gets to them.
I just want to grab like the stoutest looking out of the bunch that's trickling out of this house, and just grab him and say, "The stoutest of you, those of you who have axes, you know what to do. Don't run. Don't be a coward. Save your fellow community members. I don't know. I don't live in a town. Just help them."
Yes, we will. Heartlanders for all. And they will grab, pitchforks and hose and whatever farm tools they can get and try to start prying open. And as they pry open one of the neighboring doors, you could hear screams emanating from this house that is 2 rounds away from being consumed by the fire, as the fire takes over the houses just emptied by Gilderoy. And we'll go out of turn initiative now. So all you guys have heard this scream in the house that's 2 turns away from being consumed by fire.
Well, I'll definitely head over there. I don't plan on trying to open doors because that's not really my whole thing.
The doors have been opened by the villagers, and they're screaming, come help her! She's having a baby!
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely over there. I'm going to help with that.
A child born during a red battle. He will grow strong, or she.
Nice. What about you, Nethos?
Well, I mean, at this point, I'm holding that water. If it's not doing any good, I'll move it closer to that house. But there's really not a lot I can do. Well, I mean,
Okay.
has anybody got rid of the? Have they cut both the ropes already?
Have they what?
Have they cut both the ropes on the bridge already?
No, villagers are still trickling out, and I would say that all of the villagers are starting to escape, except from this one house that your compatriots are starting to head towards.
Yeah, I think at this moment, I'm really better to just kind of hold.
Okay, so you're helping the creatures like get across the bridge, yelling at them, "Run, run!"
Yeah. I mean, if I could move my crate water closer to help that house, okay. But otherwise, that's really about all I could do besides that.
Yeah, you can do that for sure. Just giving them a little bit of extra time that they need, soaking the ground before it as the fire just is relentless in advancing. So, Baron, I'm not sure if you heard, there is a uh, woman having a child in one of these places.
As if it couldn't get any better.
So I
Man,
believe
don't say that.
Sylvia has gone forward, and maybe Holt did. Holt said, "What did you say, Holt?"
I said, a child born during a red battle. Strolling over to the house.
Perfect. So they're all headed over to the house, and we're out of like turn initiative now. So
Yeah, I'm definitely one of the people that hightailed it to the house. Maybe recognizing the noise. I have probably experienced a few childbirths. As a member of the Gilded Order, we are overly hands-on with terms of medicine and healing. So I've probably assisted in a birth or two myself. So I'm trying to absolve the situation as best as possible.
yeah, so you guys go in there, and the badger takes up just an enormous amount of the room, and there is a mice woman on the bed, uh, covered in sheets, and another female mouse attending to her. "Ah, please, please help us. She's having, we can't leave."
Uh, being a rabbit, and rabbits know a lot about having kids because we have a lot of kids. Um,
I love the logic.
uh, Sylvia's gonna say, "We don't need all of you in here. This isn't a show, and unless we, unless you plan on carrying her out, I definitely don't need you here, Holt. Women giving birth typically don't want a lot of men staring at them."
And kind of at the same time,
Nonsense.
I'm pulling any kind of herbs or poultices from my satchel to I would use in this situation. I'm going to go ahead and take an initiative on this. I don't know if you want me to roll like a medicine or some sort of check to see.
Yeah, why don't you roll medicine, Gilderoy, and Sylvia, why don't you roll like an insight?
To Sylvia's comments, I'm like, nonsense. This is a great moment for celebration.
I got a 25.
Get out. 24 total.
Nice. Okay, so Sylvia, you realize that this birth is having some complications. And Gilderoy, you also realize this, and you know exactly what you need to give the mother to relax enough to have the birth.
I think at this point I would maybe lock eyes with Sylvia, and us both being of the race we are, in our knowledge of reproduction. Maybe we're kind of, in sync at this moment to get this process along.
Exactly. You're like talking out loud, and Sylvia is helping complete your sentences. Like, oh, it could be this. Yes, it is that. Maybe you could give her this. Oh, I can't give her this, but maybe I can give her this. And
Maybe she
you
has
guys,
even like taken over my medicine pouch from me as I'm taking the more like hands-on approach.
Perfect. Sylvia, you're being a great accomplice to the midwife that is now Gilderoy. And I want both of you to roll medicine checks.
Absolutely.
Holt, anything that you want to do,
Ooh.
go ahead and chime in.
I'm going to use my inspiration.
Nice.
Oh, that's much better.
Holt is actually going to see like a small stool in the corner of the room and just grab it and sidle up next to the cot where the mouse woman is giving birth, and just like have a flask of ale and just like birth. Just trying to like
well, I
lighten
got an
the
natural
mood.
20 on my second roll, and Sylvia is going to cut Holt the most angriest look that a rabbit can possibly muster, and walk over to him and grab him. She can't really hurt him by this, but she's grabbing him, saying, "Get out! You're making her uncomfortable."
I look down at the mouse woman and just say, "Am I making you uncomfortable?"
The mouse woman who was attending to the
Making
one
me
that is in
uncomfortable,
birth
goddamn.
is saying, "No, yes, now let's just be all right over here." And it looks like she is needing attention that you are providing Holt. She's kind of like so flustered and happy that you're here.
Holt's
And
holding
so-
her hand.
Exactly, her
Yeah.
tiny little paw
Yeah,
and
no.
his massive one.
I'm not offering her ale, but I'm just letting her with it. Just get a sniff of that.
Which she gladly accepts. And so, Baron, what was the result of your medicine check? Baron, did you hear me?
Sorry, yeah. 21.
Okay, great. So you guys both rolled great. And it looks like the birth is happening no problem. The head has crowned and the shoulders are starting to wiggle out. Both of you go ahead and roll a medicine check again.
Got a 12 on that one.
Yeah, I got 11 that time.
The baby
Fucking-
is finally pushed out, screaming as it enters the world. And you guys quickly cut the umbilical cord, wrap it in some sheets, and hand it to the mother. And the mother looks extremely pale. She holds her baby. Thank you. Thank you. Please, take him to Edward. As she hands you the baby and dies.
Dies? Oh no. Sylvia takes the baby and looks down at the dead mother and is like, "Oh fuck."
Would there be any way that I would know how to resuscitate her, maybe?
What in the hell?
Like, is she just
You
outright
can,
dead?
You can. She's dead.
Fuck. God damn it, Philip. This is
fire
fucking
is
emotional roller
blazing.
coaster right now.
The fire is blazing outside, and you can feel the heat. The windows are starting to shatter from the heat.
I just look at the both of them and just say, "Is this Edward's baby?"
I'm gonna kind of ignore it. Still acting mildly instinctual, and I'm gonna take off my reskinned cloak of protection, which is my scarf, and wrap the child in it, and hand it to the woman.
Please help us, lead us out.
Sylvia took the baby earlier, so are you giving it back to Sylvia or what?
Oh yeah.
I'm kind of imagining, like, as we cut the umbilical cord, I'm like holding this fucking rat mouse child wrap it in my cloak of protection, and hand it off to whoever. So if I handed it to
Give it
Sylvia
to the mom, and then the mom gave it to Sylvia.
and maybe look to Holt to kind of like scoop this chick up and like, we gotta go.
She's dead.
Oh yeah, she's dead. Fuck that chick. We gotta go.
Yeah, the mom's dead. The nurse is like really flummoxed. And Holt, what do you do?
I just kind of like, it's my turn to kind of cut like hatred, like a hating glance towards the two of them, and just say, how cold can you two be?
I feel like Holt is like
I'm-
the most sentimental out of everybody in this situation. Like he's like, give the child a moment with his mother. Jeez.
No,
This is the most
it's not
civilized
even
we've seen him.
that. It's that Holt, being a person of the North, he's all for like
He's got like the
burns.
giddiness,
That's
like,
from,
he's like, oh man, the child's been born.
he's all for funeral pyres and stuff, but this isn't the way to do it. This isn't the way to go. This isn't honorable. So he's just going to cut them a hating glance and scoop up the dead mother in his arms.
And I think maybe tying back to what I said earlier about you scooping her up before I recognized she was dead, maybe I'll still continue with that.
Sure.
Great. So you guys
Scoop
are
her
able
up.
to gather the dead mother and all make your way out as the fire just continues to advance. And you make it bridge, and Nethaus, you see Sylvia holding this baby, Holt holding this dead mouse mother, and the baby is wrapped in the scarf of Gilderoy, and they're all running towards you as the fire just keeps pursuing. What do you say, Nethaus, as they approach you at the bridge?
I just urge him to get across the bridge so we can cut it.
All right, as they run across, who's going to remain and cut the rope?
I am. Oh, what's the word? I made 2 villagers do it. Remember?
But you told them to wait until everyone was across, and you guys haven't crossed yet.
Oh yeah, we're gonna cross the river. We're gonna cross the bridge,
And make
then
the villagers do it and cross the river on their own?
well, I imagine they can cut the rope. Maybe I'm
Oh, on
picturing
the
this
other
wrong.
side. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
You're right. Totally. On the other side. You're good. Okay, so you can cut the rope, but then it'll be up to you guys to try to like finally break the base ropes of the bridge. But you'll
Have
be
fun
able
with
to
that,
do
Holt.
that, no problem.
I
I feel
got
like
an idea
Holt's
for that.
flail
Hopefully
like
it'll work.
smashes through the bottom, if anything.
Yeah, exactly.
I have like the dead mother in my arms, so maybe, well, I mean, I'm large enough, so maybe I can just cradle her in one arm and just like stand at one end of the bridge and just like sweep across the bridge with my flail.
Well, my thought was letting off a lightning bolt after everybody got across it and they cut the rope.
Do it. You get Holt, you get one of the thick base ropes that's holding the like floorboards of this bridge, and you just continually hack at it with 3 whacks, and it finally breaks. And Nethaus, you sever it with one swift lightning bolt. Sorry, lightning bolt. And that is where we're going to end this session.
Wait, was the baby a boy or a girl?
I'm going to talk to Edward and we'll let him decide.
Okay, fair enough.
Cool. So yeah, what did you guys think? Is that fun?
It was great.
Fuck yeah.
Good time.
It's great.
Cool. So you guys ready to do this again in maybe 2 weeks?
Yeah, 2 weeks is good.
That's fine with me.
Yeah, that works for me.
Great.
Yeah, as long as it's not on the 20th. I have a game that day.
You maybe
Okay.
want to end the stream for this part?
Yeah, let's go ahead and end. Thanks everyone for watching. Blah blah blah.
All right, Philip, I'm going to take over for a second. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I know we had a single viewer for the majority of this, so that's pretty solid. That's the most we've had ever. This is RWD Gaming. That's rolling with Disadvantage Gaming. We have tabletop. We have P4. We're working on getting an Xbox. We're trying to have a conglomeration of game videos. Thank you, everybody that tuned in. Thank you, everybody that played with us tonight. I had a fantastic time, and I hope everyone else did as well. Catch us next time, and we're gonna sign off.